Matthew, how you doing, man? The little B, what up? John, how you doing, buddy? All right, Adam's on. Hey, Eric, how's everybody doing? Illumin Nathan, dude, I got your package. Old Illumin Nathan, man, he sent me my favorite crankbait. He sent me three of them. The Lucky Craft, Fat CB. If you guys watched my mystery tackle box unboxing, you know how much I like this lure. So Nathan sent me this one and what's this color called? I want to call it just T.O. Craw. I wanted to call it Aurora Craw. And Aurora Black. This is a great color. If you are a Lucky Craft fisherman, this Aurora Black is an excellent color. Ronald, Garrett, kick your bass. How you guys doing? And he also sent me the MS Crack Black Chartreuse. Thanks, Nathan, man. I really appreciate that, buddy. I'm not putting these in the bucket. I'm gonna keep those and fish with them. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. That was a surprise. In fact, the envelope came and it says it came from Pack Ship USA, so I didn't even know who it was from. So luckily, Nathan had a note in there. Hola, Warrior Fishing. Kick your basses on the lake. Nice. Hey, Jeff, Henry, Yo, Dan, Nader. What is going on? All right, let me take this caption off. So sorry we missed our Wednesday night show. Just caught on a small 3.5 in Virginia, 3.5 pounder. Must be a smallie. Nice. Fish count, Jan. You guys are keeping me honest. One fish is all I got this week. One. Is that crazy or what? I had 472 last week. I got 473 this week. It was slow. I was only able to go out once on Saturday and didn't have many bites. Not many. Sometimes that's the way it happens. I really need to get out and do some night fishing because that's this time of year, night fishing is a lot better. Well, part of it, Matthew, is just it gets hot. They go deep, try to get cool. They're a little more picky about eating, and I think a lot of times they don't even wait. They don't even think about eating in the daytime. They wait till nighttime. Jan has not gone fishing in almost 3 weeks. That's terrible. Braden, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever done any night fishing or night tournaments. I used to do quite a few night tournaments, but man, they're kind of dangerous. I don't know how many times At night, I've come close to hitting something, or something's come close to hitting me. I have learned that if you're fishing nighttime, you need a bright spotlight. 103 heat index, dude. That's hot. You need a bright spotlight that you can flash on in case you're about to get run over by another boat. Nathan, you're not kidding, man. Lake Erie. Well, I'm going to kind of do that. I'm going to go to the St. Lawrence River, and that's Lake Ontario up there. And hopefully I have a good week of catching fish for that tournament. Yeah, sometimes if you got kids, the only time you can get away to go fishing is nighttime. You are right. Kick your bass. So, man, I was slammed this week with all kinds of stuff at work. The reason we didn't do the call on or the show on Wednesday is I had a meeting down in Arkansas and it went long. So by the time I got home, it was too late. So that's why Steve was ready. He was at iCAST ready to go, but I couldn't make it. Well, Adam, it's not really a secret up there. By the time I get to the St. Lawrence River, I anticipate, they're wrapping up the spawn right now. So if you watch like that Jacob Wheeler tournament and even the BASS tournament the next week following, there was still quite a few fish shallow. The MLF tournament on St. Lawrence was definitely a shallow bite. A lot of guys catching fish on beds, and that's how the people that won and the top winners, the guys in the top, were fishing shallow. When I get there, it's going to be deep. They're going to be out in the main river and maybe out into Lake Ontario. So I'm going as a co-angler. It'll depend on the boater, but I'm pretty positive we'll either be in the middle of the river or out on the lake, and pretty much drop shot and Ned rig. Drop shot and Ned rig. Yep. And I'm taking my tubes, and I'm taking some swim baits, and you still will be able to catch some shallow bass there at St. Lawrence, maybe with a jerk bait. Like I said, that swim bait might come into play, hair jig, but really you only need a handful of lures for the St. Lawrence River. So it should be fun. Did you see the swim bait underground on Rago Baits collab? Nope, I haven't seen that, Matthew. I have not seen it. So night fishing is pretty fun. The only thing that I've learned with night fishing is it helps. It helps if you can use a black light, and you can get fluorescent fishing line, and that black light will you put the black light on the outside of your boat, and then you can see your fishing line in the water using that black light. Really makes fishing at night a lot easier. Oh, really? Tackle Warehouse finally got the Corrado MGL 150. Cool. Yeah, it's the Frankie. It's the Major League Fishing Toyota Series. Blacklight and UV lures. Well, I've never been a big believer of the UV lures, to tell you the truth. The black light would probably work with the UV lures, but you can't see the lure anyway. It's in the water, but you need to be able to watch your line. So that's why I like that fluorescent line. It just lights up your line. That black light will kind of make your line glow. And it only does it in the top. Once it gets into the water, it stops, so the fish don't see it. And so it's pretty fun. Oh, Jeff, I'm going to do a video on the Stupid Tube rig here. Yeah, I talked about it last week actually on the show, and I like the Stupid Tube. I've been throwing it. Actually, the guy that got me interested in the Stupid Tube, believe it or not, is the Bait Man. It was probably 5-6 years ago or more. It was back when he was working in that tackle store. He used to do a lot of videos in the tackle store and talk about lures and stuff. I don't know if any of you guys watched him back then. Don't remember the name of that tackle store, but he's the one that started talking about the Stupid Tube, and I had not heard about it until I started watching him. Yeah, Sean, you're right. Looks like a purple rope. It just lights up. But it really helps if you get the fluorescent line, man. If you use regular line, it doesn't light up nearly as well. Kick Your Bass, you bring up a good point. When I'm fishing at night, I will fish with darker lures a lot of times, although it's not always necessary. The thing I always forget when I'm fishing at night is those fish can see 100 times better than me, maybe 1,000 times better than me. What up, Booster? So even though I'm sitting there in the dark, blind, and can't see anything, they can see just fine in the water down there, especially if you've got the moon out. There's no cloud cover. But if I've got stained water and there's no, it's a real cloudy night and it's even darker, then I definitely will throw a lot of those really dark baits. Sure, Adam, you can definitely bank fish at night. It absolutely works. Dude, some of my very best nights. In fact, I'll tell you about one time. This was a blast. Back before I got my first bass boat, man, I would fish well into the night at my favorite pond. And I can remember one night, speaking of black buzz baits, me and my buddies were throwing black buzz baits, and we were catching a lot kind of during the evening. And then when it got dark, we kept throwing them. And you literally could not see them at all, but you could hear them clacking, So you just throw out there in a gentle direction and reel it in, and man, bam, you'd hear the fish slam and hit it, and then you'd bring them in. That was a blast. But one night I was with my buddy Dean, and I had a swim bait at the time, and I only had one of them. Anyway, I only had one swim bait, and I still remember, it was a Dirty Jigs. It was a Dirty Jigs California swim jig that I had a Robo Worm swim bait on the back. And if you've never seen, Robo Worm does make some really nice swim baits and paddle tail swim baits. But I only had one. So I don't remember what Dean had he was fishing with. But that swim bait was the ticket, man. It was unreal how many fish I caught. 4-pounders. I caught one, then another, then another, then another, then another. And I think when I got around 10 or 12 4-pound fish, and Dean didn't have a bite, he said, I'm done. And he went and sat in the truck. And then I fished for another hour or so into the night. It was late. It was probably midnight or later. And that swim bait, I just wore them out on that thing. But unfortunately, nothing else seemed to work that night. I mean, we were throwing everything. Dean literally threw every lure he had and just couldn't get bit. And that was a white swim jig with a big old kind of shad colored swim bait on it. So it wasn't even a dark lure, and it worked great. So you can definitely fish the bank at night. The problem with fishing the bank at night is you can't see where you're throwing your lure, and a lot of times you're going to get it hung up. So you're going to lose a lot more lures at night. Let's see, there's another question here. Yeah, Sean's right. You can throw a spinner bait. If you look at my fish tools unboxing, they've got a couple of big honking. It might be in here actually. If it is, I'll show it to you. They got a really big honking spinner bait that would work great for night fishing. It's called the Jolt, I think. Unfortunately, there's not one in this box. Or I'd show it to you. Get you a big old single Colorado leaf blade spinner bait. No, I don't have it handy, or I'd show it to you. And that's about all you need. That and a big old worm. He's right. A worm works great. Jigs. Gary, you're right. In some parts of the world, snakes are something to think about. Okay, it's not so much that the black buzzbait works best. Anytime you're in a situation where the visibility is low, you want to use a darker lure, because the darker lure, it's not so much the color. It's not that the black color matters. What the black does is it gives a much more defined profile in the water, and it's easier for the fish to locate. So even in the daytime, if you're fishing super muddy water, you want to go with a black or a black and blue jig or whatever you're fishing with, worm, creature bait. Go with a really dark color because the profile shows up much better in the dark water. It's not really that the fish is keying in on black. Although black and blue will work in clear water too at times, it works fine. But when you're in really, really dark water or low visibility situations, go with a dark bait. There, Matthew's saying he throws a black jig at night. Yes, the little B. Doesn't matter how deep the water is. If the visibility is low, I'd use a dark color. Yeah, Roger, you should see my new tackle room because those old videos are in the previous house. Yeah, people see this back here and they think this is my tackle. No, that's not my tackle. That's just my swim baits and my wiggle warts. My tackle room is pretty crazy. Yeah, fishing with Gramps is on. My buddy Steve, that's all he fishes with, black and blue, almost probably 90% of the time down in Florida. They have a lot of shallow fishing and the water's really tannic and stained. And it's a confidence thing too. If you're looking at a few basic staple colors you should always have in your box, black and blue is definitely one of them. White's definitely one of them. Green pumpkin's definitely one of them. and then something natural like a watermelon or watermelon red. Most of the time, you can get away with those 4 colors. So, one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. Well, Gary, that's why I use the black light, because it's dark. It doesn't light up and it doesn't attract bugs. Berkeley makes one. There's several tackle companies that make them, and they have suction cups on them, and you can literally stick it to the outside of your boat. Well, the hardest part about catching bass anywhere, Roger, is finding them. Finding the fish is 90% of the formula. And then you can figure out how to catch them. I've got a lake here, a local lake. It's called Smithville Lake, man. It's a tough place to fish. There's a lot of guys that won't fish it. They just hate it because it's so tough. But if you can find them, it's got some nice bass in it. Yeah, I never tried green Gramps. It doesn't surprise me, though. I know when I was in the Army, of course, we weren't using it for fishing, but in the Army at night, you use red lights. You use red lights to read your maps and that kind of stuff. And the reason you do that is red lights don't ruin your night vision. If you use a white light or another, like a regular flashlight, and you're shining it on your map or whatever, and then you turn it off, as soon as you turn the light off, you're immediately got night blindness until your eyes adjust. If you use a red light at night, that you don't usually have that problem. You can turn your light off and you can still see fine. Oh yeah, yeah, yep, that's right. Save your night vision booster. Motocross Kings. That's got to be. That's got to be. Is that Lance? Motocross Kings. No, Landon. Landon. I bet you Motocross Kings is Landon. He's right. I haven't seen him on for quite a while. What up, Bob? How's it going, man? Right on, Landon. How you doing, buddy? You've been out riding bikes instead of fishing, I guess. Landon Motocross Kings, he's got a YouTube channel, and most of his videos are him riding his dirt bike. Hey, Trevor, how you doing, man? What'd you guys think of iCAST? Did anybody watch any of it? Dude, all 3 of your sons are getting out at the same time. That's pretty crazy. Man, that's pretty awesome. 3 sons serving the military. That's definitely something to be proud of. Bob caught a 3.5 pounder on a frog. Cool. Nothing like frog fishing, man. That is fun stuff. Any of you guys checked out Fishing with Gramps' channel? He's got a nice YouTube channel as well. If you haven't checked him out, head over to his channel and check him out. He does a lot of fishing. He's a kayak fisherman as well, if I remember. Nathan thought iCAST was disappointing. Well, it is kind of strange. I don't remember, but I don't think I've paid attention that close. But it seems like everything that they showcased at iCAST, they're all saying, coming in the fall, coming in the fall, it'll be here in the fall. And that does kind of take the wind out of your sail because when I see that stuff, I'm like, dude, I got to try that. I got to go get one of those. And then you go online and there's nothing there. Who's Duncan? Yeah. Lost your best frog. What's your best frog? Who's Duncan? What's your favorite frog out there? My favorite frog is the scum frog. I've told you guys that. Launch frog, scum frog, launch frog. I absolutely love it. Put your in the comments, put your favorite frog. We're talking hollow-bodied frog. What's your favorite hollow-bodied frog? Let's see if there's a consensus out there. If guys use one more than any of the others. Well, I did see a couple of things, Booster, that kind of got me excited, but not a ton. The Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher. I don't even know what the Kara is, Illuminathan. The Depths Booster K or the Norries NF60. The Spro 60, the Spro Bronze Eye. Hey, the Spro Bronze Eye and the Booyah Crasher are pretty standards for sure. Gary, frog. Right on. The Vega. Now, see, I've heard that the Vega has a hard problem with hook sets. That the fish love them, but they don't. The hooks don't penetrate very well. You got much of an issue with that, D? Strike King Pad Perch. Looks like the Booyah one's pretty popular. Yeah, Jeff, I'm totally into those inflatable kayaks. I thought those were awesome. Okay, Roger likes the Walmart brand frog. Hey, I've figured this out. The fish don't care what brand it is. I'm a sucker for high dollar brands, but it's not always necessary. Airborne medic, signal, and infantryman. What MOS do you think I was fishing with Gramps? What do you think? I was an enlisted man, so I'll tell you that. But what do you think? What's your guess? Nader says Annie Frog. Booster, I would agree with you on some counts that a lot of them are very, very similar. The reason I like the launch frog the best is the material that Scum uses. I think the hooks penetrate much better. It's a super soft plastic, if you will. And that launch frog has this weight system in it. You can cast that thing literally further than any frog I've ever seen in my life. Nope, I wasn't an engineer, Eric, but I probably would have liked that. I wasn't an electronics tech. Nathan's a Navy vet. Right on. Intel. Nope, I wasn't an Intel either. There's Eric's an Air Force vet. My son-in-law's in the Air Force, Eric. Any suggestions for soft swim baits for Texan hooks? What's a Texan hook? John Smith's been stalking me. He knows. I was an MP, military police. Right on, John. You're right again, buddy. That dude, John, is a walking encyclopedia. We ought to start calling John Mr. Wikipedia. 25 Bravo. I don't know what 25 Bravo is, Gary. Military police is 95 Bravo, or it was when I was in. Okay, Gabriel wants a Texas rig. Soft swim baits for Texas rig. Heck yeah, man. There's a bunch of them out there. I might have one sitting here. Any of these Kitex, any Kitex will work. Although I prefer a jig head to a Texas rig, but you can definitely Texas rig those in any other company that makes these similar. Another one I really like is the Skinny Dipper by Reaction Innovations. Booster, U.S. Army. I want to see that. Air Defense, but spent 2 years in the Cav, infantry Cav. Sweet. Yeah, there's a lot of vets who fish. A lot of veterans are fishermen for sure, or outdoorsmen anyway. Man, Fishing with Gramps still works for the Department of Army. How about this? Holy cow. Stop the presses. Bob Witt says the Guggen Squad Saucy Swimmer is fantastic. Well, I have to admit, most of the Guggen Squad baits are pretty awesome. I don't use a lot of them, but it's hard to argue. I think a lot of people they don't like the Guggen Squad, and so they associate the Guggen Squad with the Guggen Squad baits. And I think the Guggen Squad baits are they stand on their own. They really do. Uh-oh, glide bait. Roger's been bit by the glide bait bug. You are not kidding, man. Hey, the glide bait would be a great nighttime lure. You just gotta be willing to lose them. But I've not fished one at night, but you know that the glide bait has got to be awesome at night. Although glide baits are mostly a visual presentation, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you got a bright night, clear water, you could absolutely throw a glide bait at night and they would find it. Eric, CD1X2, Cyber Transport System Operator, aka Network Manager. I spent 5 years in Germany. It was pretty good time. Yeah, I've heard the Bandito bug's pretty awesome, Gramps. Like I said, I don't fish with much of their lures, but I've heard a lot of people say they like that Bandito bug. Yeah, Bob, I've heard that too, that they don't hold up. I don't really care that much, though. Like, I use a ton of Gary Yamamoto stuff, like the Cinco and their Flapping Hog, and they tear up quicker than a lot of lures, but they catch fish, so I'm okay with that. A couple of things I think the Guggens do well. All their baits most of their baits seem pretty good quality, even their hard baits. But I think whoever names their lures is a pretty smart cat too, because most of their lure names are really good. And maybe some of you guys don't pay attention to that stuff, but I have just noticed that they come up with some really, really good names for their lures. Like their chatterbait they call the clickbait. I mean, that's so Guggen. I mean, here they are, YouTubers. Clickbait, YouTube. But yet the name clickbait for a chatterbait is brilliant. It's spot on. That's exactly what it does. It clicks in the water. So I don't know who does that, but they got it going on. There you go. Booster has spoken. A lot of good videos on their swimmer by non-Guggen guys. So, hey Shannon, how you doing, man? Look here, Matthew's fishing a glide bait, and he's fishing an expensive one, the Tiny Clash, dude, and the Joker both. Those are expensive baits. Throwing them at night, and I know for a fact Matthew's a bank fisherman, so that dude, he is rolling the dice. He's willing to sacrifice for a nighttime fish, for sure. All right, Steve is on. How's it going, man? What are you up to? Get your fish on. Lake Fork guy showed me the new speed worm from the video tonight. Okay, Gary just sent me an Instagram pic. I'll have to log into my Instagram account. All right, somebody was asking who's N5KDA, man. He sent us a picture. I'm going to show you guys this because I like Gary a lot. Gary is not just a fisherman, but he's a lure maker. He makes some pretty sweet lures. But you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Gary. He's also a retired police officer. Right on, Gary. Thanks for serving your country, your community. Looks like Gary had a career of service. That's pretty cool. Hey, get your fish on. What are you doing? You want to hop on the show for a minute? He's editing right now. Fisherman 83. How you doing, man? Glad you made it. So, Steve with Get Your Fish On was at iCAST all week. And he's got lots to share. What's the humdinger? Matthew, you send me a picture of it after you get it, especially if you catch some fish on it. Debo in the house. Yeah, great question. What is one item you saw from iCAST that you want? I'll tell you what I saw that I want. I want the Hobie Lynx. The Hobie Lynx. Go big or go home. That speaking of tackle backpacks, Jacob, that new Plano backpack looks pretty sweet. It's called the Atlas, I think. And it looks pretty cool. Illuminathan wants the new Bonafide. Yeah, I saw the new Bonafide. I'll tell you why I'm not a big fan of it. Native Watercraft bought out Bonafide, or the parent company that owns Native bought out Bonafide, and the new Bonafide has a pedal drive in it now, and it's the exact pedal drive that comes in the Native Watercrafts. The pedal drive is great. There's no problems with the pedal drive. What I don't like about the Native is that rudder system. If you get, and it looks to me like they've put Native's rudder system on that Bonafide. I hope I'm wrong, because if you get a Native, you need to get a short Native, like the 10-footer, the Native Titan, and those others, because that drive, or that rudder, is super hard to steer on the bigger boat, like the 14-footer. The Gilly there was a lot of talk about the Gilly, for sure. What do you guys think of the Gilly? Do you guys know what one that is? I'll show you a picture of it if you don't know what it is. It's by Berkeley. The Berkeley Power Bait Gilly. Let me get a little better color here. I'll show you this on Tackle Warehouse's site. Here we go. So that is the new Berkeley Power Bait Gilly. I think it got noticed a lot. Don't you guys? What's your opinion on the Three Waters 360 kayak seat? I don't know that one. I do know that what's the 360 seat that's on the unlimited New Canoe? That seat looks awesome to me, and it rotates 360 degrees, I believe. Yeah, Roger, you and me both definitely want to get that one. The Gilly's a knockoff. Well, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. And I guarantee you it's going to catch a lot of fish. The Gilly is going to catch a lot of fish. What else out there at iCAST lit you up? There's a couple other things on the Tackle Warehouse website. You got the best freshwater reel, the Daiwa Zillion SV. Here's that backpack that I think looks pretty cool. Oh man, Steve is joining me.
Are you hearing me?
I got you. You're on.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
That's a good backpack. I think Plano won everything.
Sweet. I have got to. I gotta do a video on that.
Yeah, I think I have one of those coming. So
it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, the Plano did really well at iCAST. So did AFCO.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of some really good people that did really good. It is what it is. We didn't win for Tackle Web, so that kind of sucked. But the party was great, and there's lots of good things. There's lots of good things happening for Tackle Web, so that's all that matters.
Heck yeah, that's great.
Couldn't find a Tackle Web's hat though.
Oh yeah,
I don't know where they are. I was looking for a hat. I'm like, where the hell is it? My hair's all screwed up.
Well, heck, I did one video without a hat, and I could not believe I got lit up, man, with like, what are you doing without a hat?
Gosh, I remember that. Yeah.
That was crazy. So I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah. I mean, you want to know, iCast would be like perfect for you, to be honest, because they give away so many hats at iCast. You would be in your glory.
Oh, I would be, man. I like my hats. I like my hats a lot.
Thomas went around and got like 50 on Friday
Oh,
night.
oh man, that is cool. That's great. So was there, I know you said it was a little more disappointing, but was there anything at iCast that just kind of really you were blown away by?
So it's funny because I'm asked like this question every time I like see somebody at iCast. They're like, "What did you see that you thought was amazing?" And I'm like really jaded by iCast at this point in time. It's not really. It's more work than it is exciting to go see. I think the Gilly was pretty amazing. I think the new Berkeley jigs that have the max scent inside the skirts probably are going to sell about 52 trillion. I think there's some. I have a video of one that's a lure that's like a swim bait that's made out of hemp that I think might be cool. I don't know the name of it right off the top of my head. I think there'll be gimmicky things like
The lizard, the skitter lizard.
the skitter lizard that I think will be really, really gimmicky. I think I mean, I I can't get in trouble now, so it doesn't matter. This bait's really weird because it's really soft up here, but if you look at the tail, it's a hard plastic, or not a hard plastic. It's
That
soft
is
plastic.
such a
So I don't
huge
know how that
thing.
stinger hook's ever going to come out of it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really a
crazy.
weird bait,
That is really different.
and it stinks, man.
Does it? Huh.
Oh god, it's some horrible plastic they're using. Uh, they
So
got a
it's not
lot.
a scent. It's not a scent. You mean it's not like an infused scent? It's just stinky plastic.
Yeah, it's like a stinky burnt rubber plastic.
Huh.
You know, it,
Dave, I kind of like the idea of an infused skirt, and I'll tell you why. Because you can spray a skirt, but if you're using something like a gel, like for example, if you're using this liquid mayhem, which is really good stuff, by the way,
Mhm.
or smelly jelly, you can't really put that on a skirt because when you do, it kind of glues your strands together. You lose your action. If you have a spray, yeah, you could spray on a skirt, but I like the idea of having an infused scented skirt. I think it's actually a pretty cool thing.
So they spent 10 years to make that work, is what
Wow.
they told the media. They spent 10 years. So I talked to Gary Klein as the day went on, and he said it was about 2 years ago that they finally figured out how to do it properly and that it wouldn't disperse or wouldn't just go away.
Yeah.
So and it's weird when you pick one up and you smell it. I mean, you smell that max scent. I mean, you're like, one of those hit by a fart kind of things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you because here Bob is saying Berkeley Mac scent is unreal, and this is the chatter I hear everywhere: unreal, 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 unreal. But is it really unreal, or is it just hype? Is it? I mean, because there's some other great scents out there. I mean, like the Liquid Mayhems and like the what's the super stinky one in the bottle that in the glass bottles.
Mm.
Somebody will put it on the screen here. I can't think of it at the moment. Uh, is Mac Scent really unique or really different or really a game changer in the scent world, or is it just something that we're all super excited about?
It is a game changer.
Really?
They can show you statistically how a bass will hold on to that bait longer when they bite it. That their scientists have created all this stuff to make that power bait what they are looking for. And like Like a perfect example is they told me this just the other day. The average bass will hold on to a bait 0.25 seconds on an average bait. And your reaction time to set the hook is about the same amount of reaction time.
Oh, okay.
With a Berkeley Max scent, a bass will hold on to it like 1.11 seconds. So because of that, you're actually have a better chance of setting the hook before they're able to just flare open their mouth and gulp it and then spit it out, because that's what they're really doing. So that's some of their statistics. That's their statistics. I mean, they could.
So somebody asked me what I'm going to be using on the St. Lawrence River. This is one thing.
Yes.
The flatworm and Max scent.
Yes. And I think they have some new sizes for those that are coming out too.
Yeah, I heard they did. This is the regular size, which is 3.
Yeah, 4.25 or something's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Getting back to your question about, is there anything that's like you just
your way?
Yeah, you just go, I gotta have it. There's a lot of new worms and new plastics that are going to come out that are going to probably be in that same range of, do you switch from your favorites to go do that? There's going to be so you'll have some newer stuff, but there wasn't anything like, hold on, where's my bag? I have, and I'm talking the craziest bait you'll ever see in your life. And I'm not joking. And it's $45.
Oh my goodness. $45.
Hold on. Oh, I might have lost it. Oh, well, that would suck. Oh no, it's right here.
It would really suck to lose a $45 lure.
This is it. See this worm, this frog?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to put the microphone down. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Ow!
Careful. I put a hook in my hand on the show one time. I don't recommend that.
Okay, I'm going to use this for a second. That hurt, by the way. So this frog is a popping frog.
It's a popping frog. Okay.
Do you see it?
Yep, that's a big popping cup.
Really? Yes. Now, I don't know if you can see the front of that. See that little thing there? So you cast it, and it goes like this.
What? Then, it's like a.
Oh no! Wait a minute. You ready? And then it does that.
Holy crap! Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my goodness! You don't even have to give it any action; it just does it all itself, huh?
So really, what you're supposed to cast it and pop it, and so it'll pop, and then it'll stay in that strike zone, and then all it'll do is just the legs will pop, or flap and make that vibration. It doesn't make the bait go forward at all. It just makes them clap.
Hey, I am with the little B on that one. Frog fur.
It is from 22.5, the Gold Series mechanical lure.
So it's a hard frog then.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a hard bait. The tails, the legs are soft plastic. But
and then it's got 2 treble hooks on it, so you can't even throw it over matted grass or anything. It's not weedless.
No, you're not. It's getting nowhere near that. 45. It might be. It's either $34.95 or $45. I don't remember the price, to be honest. I know it's over $35.
Okay, what I am going to tell you is that is not one.
I'm sending this to you. I'm sending this to you.
Holy crap! Oh, jeez.
Where's that Devo guy? I'm going to send him one too.
Yeah, send one to Devo. Oh my goodness. As Gary says here, they will be overstocked and in sub boxes next year.
Oh, this will never make a box. This probably was expensive to make. This is, I mean, it took the guy forever and a day to make this. He was a lawyer. I don't want to. I don't want to badmouth anybody, but he was a lawyer. He was never at his booth. He had somebody that was in a booth next to him that was trying to cover their own booth and his booth, and
Really?
it was really awkward. It was really. I saw it in the new product showcase, and I'm like, "What in the hell is that thing?" And I'm like, "That's the biggest frog I've ever seen." And then when he offered me him, I was like, "You want to know what? I'm getting him for my friend for sure, just to surprise him."
Oh my goodness, dude. Well, that's something. That is something right there.
The other great one that was there was the animated lure was back at iCAST, and I don't know who in their right mind would even do it. Would buy that bait. I have one here.
I don't either, man.
Here it is. I have one.
The little bee. Is that frog for the lake or the bathtub?
That's for the bathtub. There is the other one from, what is it called? See the little spinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. There were a lot of gimmicky things. Like a few years ago, they had a lure that had two big breasts. And I thought, and people were lining up to see this thing. And I thought, who's really going to fish with that? I mean, really, is someone really going to fish like that? So,
Alan, I think 6th Sense is awesome. If you go look at my 6th Sense unboxing, I think it's awesome. Monster Bass definitely has its place, but I'm telling you, 6th Sense controls their market. They only put their products in. They control their products. Their products are very high quality. Although I did have one subscriber tell me he will never buy a 6th Sense product again ever in his life because he got a bunch of their lures and they all split down the middle and the company wouldn't give him his money back. I've never heard of quality problems on 6th Sense lures ever. So I don't
Casey.
know.
Casey would never do that.
Doesn't sound right to me.
No,
because I mean I've literally fished with. I mean I won't say fished with hundreds, but I've got hundreds of them, and I've fished with quite a few of them, and I've never had any quality problems ever. So, yeah, 6th Sense is great, Alan. You won't regret that. The only thing you got to think about 6th Sense, and I've said this about other companies that do their only company lures. The same with Fish Tools, which I really like. I like these guys a lot. But if you go with one company, you just got to keep in mind you're only going to get their products. Mm-hmm. And if you're in love with their products, fine. But some guys want more variety than just a single company's lures, and that's kind of what some of the others do better, like the Bass Baits Monthly and those others. So, anywho. Yeah.
I don't think you can go bad with 6th Sense. I don't
either. I mean, it's
I
very
think they're
hard
better than Monster Bass. That's just my opinion. I think they're better than Monster Bass too.
Yeah, I would say just about anybody that's used them would probably agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the rumor
Monster Gramps. What's the VIP discounts?
I have no idea.
I don't either. What is it, Fishing with Gramps? Tell us what that's about.
Yeah, please. I heard the rumor that, and I was going to tell you this on Wednesday. I heard the Monster Bass is going to go to all hard baits this week.
You mean permanently or just for 1 month?
Permanently.
Really?
No soft plastics anymore. That was the rumor. I heard it from a reliable source that sold a bunch of their lures to Monster Bass. So
that's interesting. I mean, I think most people would consider that an upgrade.
I think it depends on who they go with. I mean, if you're going with Yozuri ones or you're going with Strike King or something that's really good, yeah, that's great. You get some of these mom and pop places that you've never heard of, you really don't know. Or if they start going to their own hard baits, which is not remotely in this rumor, then that would kind of stink too. If they went the Warriors tackle box kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that.
Was Warriors at iCAST?
I didn't see Warriors. It was really it was a really weird week, to be honest. I've written down a bunch of notes. The show I had said in some of the live things, I meant to do something live every day, like every 35 or 40 minutes, but the cell phone service and the Wi-Fi was wrong. I just need to reply. I heard Bass Pro Shop bought Tackle Warehouse. That did not happen. They bought Sportsman's Warehouse. What's his name said that on one of his Roland Martin said it on one of his videos. He misspoke. Bass Pro Shop bought Sportsman Warehouse. Bass Pro Shop also announced that they're going to do, years and years ago, there used to be a thing called the World's Fishing Fair, I think it's called, and they're going to redo that in Missouri, and it will be the biggest outdoor show on the earth. It'll be bigger than iCAST. It'll be absolutely ridiculous. So they're in the starting plans of doing something like the World's Fishing Fair.
Wow,
so
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be. I think you'll hear that was. So like I said, I was going to do live constantly and just try to do the interviews in that way, but then the cell phone service was just awful. I mean, awful. Wi-Fi service was awful. It was horrible.
That's too bad.
So
hey Alan, the cheapest Super 6 sack for 6 cents is about $22, and then it goes up from there, and their most expensive is probably in the mid to high 30s, something like that, depending upon how many lures you want to get.
Yeah.
In fact, their cheapest sack, the standard Super 6 sack at $22, is probably the best deal out there, especially if you're on a budget. It's hard to beat. I don't know anybody else that does a $22 monthly subscription box of any kind. Most of them are usually over $30. Around the $35 is usually the sweet spot for most subscription boxes. So if you're paying less than $35, you're probably getting a little better deal. If you're paying more, you better have some super premium stuff in it. Yeah, Johnny Morris definitely has the money to buy Tackle Warehouse, Bob. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're buying Sportsman Warehouse. You guys probably have heard of Sportsman's Warehouse. They're not nearly, I would say not nearly the size of Tackle Warehouse even. They're kind of a regional outdoors company that's kind of, I'd say, on the decline, to tell you the truth.
I think they have 270 stores.
Okay. They got more than I thought then.
Yeah, I think they're one of the bigger ones. I mean, I talked to them a lot this week. I didn't know they were being purchased at the time, but someone walked around and said it, and I was at another booth, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then another person, someone, I think Craig or Tim or somebody, texted me saying that they heard Roland Martin mention it on one of his things at Tackle Warehouse. And then I was like, no, it's Sportsman's Warehouse, not Tackle Warehouse.
Well, if that's a video, hopefully he took that thing down.
Well, I said this in my video. I don't know who the hell Roland Martin thinks I am. I am some other guy that goes bow hunting with him, and he couldn't have been more friendly to me and thinking I was somebody else. And I was like, I didn't know what to say, to be honest. I looked at Bill Dance, and I'm like, what should I say here? And he's like, just go with it, man. Just go with it. Just say yes. So then he was next to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll do it sometime soon. Yeah, we'll do it. And then and everybody that was around me was laughing their heads off, and I was like, okay, yeah. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here. It was funny.
That is funny. Adam, I like Omnia. I've started buying tackle from them, and I think I like them. Who knows where they're going to go? They're trying some creative stuff right now. They're going to do some sort of a purchasing club or something. I don't even know what. I'm not exactly sure what, but they're definitely trying to do something different for sure. All right, let's see. I know some of these guys want to spin the wheel to try to win a prize here. So we're gonna do name that lure tonight, because I really like that, because I don't have to think of a question. This is easy for me. So First up, somebody asked me last week, do you ever do name that lure soft plastics? So I'm doing soft plastics tonight.
Oh,
to see if you guys see how you know your soft plastics. This first one should be easy. So, what about Carl's? Anybody get into that? What do you mean? Just we know all about Carl's. All right, here it is. This is your first name that lure. Okay, there's one wrong answer. John Gill. It's not a yammy fish. It's not a robo worm.
they're just saying roboworm just to get me going.
Yeah, that's a whole deal. Adam got it. It's the Ned Ocho. He says ni ocho, ni docho.
Yeah, he got it.
It's the Ned Ocho by Strike King. You got it, man. Congratulations. The Ned Ocho. This is a great little Ned rig bait, by the way. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. I like this color. This is Red Bug. In fact, Red Bug works really good in some parts of the Midwest. If you're ever fishing the Arkansas River or the Red River, you might want to take some Red Bug with you. Sweet. What is that? Oh, the Stowall. Dude, what is that? Nice.
These are new from Plano.
Really? I noticed several companies were doing so. Like Busby did a lot of those zipper type bags too.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of people doing that, and the amount of people that are using that like Elastec is going to be astronomical now. Everyone's using that in their baits.
Well, companies are going to have to start creating some tackle boxes that don't melt or warp with all of these Elastecs because they're really hard on a regular Plano box of any kind, not just Plano, any plastic box out there. Elastec does not do well in.
Yeah.
Adam's saying Pop-Tart beat him. Let me look.
I didn't think so.
Pop-Tart. We will go back and look. Pop-Tart is here. Yeah, you're right. Pop-Tart did beat you. How about that? Good on you, Adam. Since you're an honest sort of a fellow, I'm gonna put your name in the tumbler to win the reel anyway, and we'll put one in there for Pop-Tart. So if you don't know about the reel giveaway, this is it. We're giving away a Quantum KVD Smoke S3 reel, and it's probably going to be next week when it happens. I'm trying to hit that 4,000 mark, and I think next week's probably when I'll do it.
Nice. Congratulations.
Pop-Tart and Cake Pop. Man, back in the colder months, Pop-Tart was winning a lot. All right. There you go, Pop-Tart. You want to spin? Let's see if they... What about rods and reels or anything like that? Did you see anything on that front you liked? Oh, you're on mute. Or can't hear you anyway. All right, I'm going to spin for you, Pop-Tart.
Did that help?
Yeah, that did help. Now I can hear you. Wait a minute. That didn't even spin. What's up with that? There we go.
There wasn't a lot of there's a lot of rods coming out. Seems like everyone has a rod coming out. Bull Bay Rods has something that looked good that won. Lunker Hunt has rods coming out. There were a lot of rods. Reels wise, I didn't see anything. The new Corrado looked good too. Sean Z said that. But nothing earth shattering.
All right, Pop Tart, I'm going to give you the 1 since the first time I spun it landed on a 1 and the second time it's landed on an X. I was hoping I could get you more, but since I messed with your spin, we'll let you pick something. Jackson, remember me. I remembered you, Jackson. Who can forget Jackson? The St. Croix Bass X swim bait rods.
Yeah, those have been. I saw those about a
Those
year
were last
ago.
year. All right, Pop Tart wants some soft plastics. All right, how about this? This is something. You ever seen these? The Weston stickworm is kind of strange. I want to know how these do for you. Um, they're not strange in that there's anything wrong with them, but what they do is in order to make them more of a wacky style worm, they put these indentations in them to put your ring around so they don't slide.
And they don't send those. Those are not distributed in the United States anymore either.
And this has a flat bottom, and then it's got a hook keeper thing in it too. So, are you saying this is a discontinued lure?
In the United States, it is. Anything Weston is. The Weston guy is now the one of the people that works with a band of anglers, Barry Stackhouse.
Oh,
so I know that really, really well. They got rid of all their pro staff. They got rid of Brent Chapman and Jay Withers last year. And they used to make some really, really good baits. They just didn't sell well here in the United States. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
It looks like a pretty quality bait from when I especially when I took it out and felt it.
Yeah.
Really looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is. They have a bunch of good stuff. Just didn't sell well. You know, it's how it is. If it doesn't sell well, then they pushed it back over to Australia or wherever it is, France or one of those places.
Gotcha. Oh, by the way, anybody that won last week, I was really slow getting your stuff out. I got it in the mail yesterday, so your stuff will show up this week. The Weston stickworm.
If you get it in a one of your boxes, Dad Bod Angler, sorry, you got it because it's overstock. Unfortunately.
Yeah, right. So and that's a deal where, like you said, these companies will buy. Yeah, Booster, it's like an old segmented Sluggo is what it looks like, kind of, but it's also kind of a hybrid between that and a regular Cinco. These companies buy 20,000 lures at a time, and then it may take them a couple of years to use them all up.
Some buy 100,000 of them.
Yeah, or more.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's funny you talking about the hard baits. Someone on here said, I think it was Fishing with Gramps, said, I think he was responding to the 6th Sense thing. He doesn't need that many crankbaits. But if you went to an all hard bait box, you're going to get a whole bunch of crankbaits. I mean, now there's a ton of variety. There's a ton of variety out there in the crankbait world. So,
yeah, there's a new one of those every week. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It is what it is. I think Monster Bass has to step up their game as is. So if this is their way of doing it, I wish them all the best.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah,
I'm very anytime something there's like a major change, it's fun to speculate and see how it goes, see what happens.
Yeah. I could be doing something with one of the boxes.
Oh, really?
Yes. We will talk about that at another time, though.
Okay. Speaking of the boxes, If you land on this here Champions, you get a Champions Club box. Major League Fishing Champions Club box. They sent me a couple of those, and you could win that if you land on the Champions Club. All right, here's the next question. I'm going to do a hat, and I've got to get me some new baseball hats because I'm having to do repeats now here. But
I might have one you could use.
Really? Mr. Bass, you should. That Swimbait Underground online big swimbait tournament this August. That would be fun. NRX Plus. Dude, that is the bomb. I've got some NRX rods. I don't have the Plus, but I love those NRX rods, man. That couldn't hear you. Your mic's messed up. Oh, there it goes. Can hear you now.
Do you use these rods?
Heck yes, I love those rods.
I'm putting it in your box then.
Oh, sweet.
There it is. It's yours now.
Awesome. Okay, guys, here I am with no hat. Let's see, kind of. This is the hat. What team could that be? It is not the Cleveland Indians. This is always fun to see. Who can guess this? Sometimes someone lives in the town, and then they get it right away. Right on, Hank. Pretty cool hat. Goes with the shirt.
Yeah, you're kind of coordinating. Coordination.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. Coordination. All right. John Smith got it. What I tell you, Mr. Walking Encyclopedia, the Charleston River Dogs. We ought to start calling John the Wikipedia, Mr. Wikipedia, because he's right. It's the Charleston River Dogs.
Good job.
Yep, good job. All right, we'll let him spin. Maybe he can win the Champions box. Now, John Smith is one of our Canadian friends, so he either gets a gift card or the Champions Club box. Oh, look how close that was. He landed on the Angel, though. So he can pick someone else. He can pick someone else. What's this Google Images thing? Poodles. What's a booster talking about? Poodles and poodles and Google Images. Are you following that?
I know how to do that.
All right, John Smith, congratulations. You win, and see who he's going to pick. This is not as good for you, Steve, having to sit around.
I'm kind of just watching the comments.
Yeah. Well, feel free to respond to any.
I pick Simon. Oh, yeah, Simon. Yeah. Congratulations, Simon.
All right. Well, Simon Zaire, is that how you pronounce his name, you think?
You were talking to the one person that should never try to remotely. I had you in my phone as Brent. Do you remember that in your breath?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that, actually. All right. I'm putting Simon down and John Smith. John gets his gift card. But Simon, if you don't live in Canada, you can pick a lure. That Canada postage is off the charts, dude. Have you ever shipped anything to Canada? One lure, $15 to ship to Canada.
I sent a box of lures to Jan and literally had to give up my next of kin.
Well, Jan's in Puerto Rico. That shouldn't be that bad because it's U.S., but
you wouldn't think so. Yeah, Canada's. You want to know what this is one of the topics we were going to talk about iCAST on Wednesday, but there were no Canadian companies or no Asian, China, Japanese companies at iCAST at all
because of COVID.
It made a drastic difference in how many people were there and everything else. It was kind of nice because you didn't have all these companies knocking off Shimano and all these other people for their lures and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Well, you were telling me that that's kind of a problem. The old copy everybody else philosophy. All right, Simon. Big Bite Baits tube. This is like a gold color looking too. It looks kind of cool. Look at that.
I saw a new tube bait this week.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know the name
I
of
wish
it.
I wish I could have gone down there.
No, I would have loved it. Some. Oh, it was from these guys. Nico?
Oh yeah. All right. Congratulations, Simon. Dude, did you go fishing at all, Steve? You said you didn't fish their tournament or whatever, right?
No, they have a tournament on Tuesday morning with Major League Fishing, and you get to go with a professional angler. And it's just that day, technically iCAST started on Sunday for me. I had to go. We went up and set up Tackle Webs booth Sunday and Monday. And then so you have that tournament on Tuesday morning, and then you have iCAST on the water at 10:30 to 2. And then at 2:30, there's the press conferences start. So at some point you have to just go, what am I not going to do? Because doing all of it, you just wear yourself out. So this year it was definitely, I'm not going to the fishing tournament. Gotcha. I got to meet Justin Rackley of Guggen Squad. And he was showing me the new speed worm that they have coming out. And I did an interview with him, and he was like, where should I go fishing? And I said, look, I'd go right here. He picked up 2 frogs and he left the show and went fishing. And I thought, I wonder if I should go with him. But then I thought, there's too many things I got to do to just take care of that.
That's awesome.
It was, it's the first time I've met him. I'm not the biggest Guggen Squad fan.
Yeah.
No offense, but, he seemed like a down-to-earth guy. In the video, it's a little uncomfortable because I say, "Hey, thank you," and I kind of wanted a response like "You're welcome," but he doesn't reply to me. So I'm like, "Thank you," and then there's an awkward pause, and then I'm like, "Thank you," and then I start the interview, and it was really weird.
I don't think I've watched hardly any Guggen Squad videos ever. I did follow a couple of those guys before they were on the Guggen Squad.
Yeah.
But I did not watch them once they all became the squad.
I asked him in the interview. I put up the video tonight. I asked him, did you think that you were going to be this successful? And he says he can't believe how successful they are. And I actually got into an argument at one of my dinners about how successful those boys are. And I was on this guy was like, Guggen is nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you have no idea. And it was a lure. It was a lure company owner. And I said to him, he kept saying, oh, YouTube is going away. And I'm like, do you realize this statistically how much stuff is uploaded to YouTube every hour? And the shorts and this and that. And he just kept going. And then I had to break out my YouTube studio on my phone and say, here's some statistics for you. And, and I could see him actually going, oh my gosh, I'm so wrong. I could see it in his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was really weird conversation, to be honest. I would love to say who it was, but it was really a weird conversation.
Not to be critical, but what kind of a rock are you living under if you think the Guggens don't the Guggen Squads have dominated on YouTube? I mean, it's translated into big time tackle sales.
I talked to Ross with Catchco about this. I didn't film it because when he and I talk, we kind of get into other things that just can't be shared on YouTube. And not like I couldn't edit it out, but there's just things that he and I talk about. And he said one of the things that Guggen has above everybody else, if they got into YouTube before YouTube was successful.
That's right, they did,
and they're successful now because of that trend that they did 7-10 years ago.
Yeah,
and that's why now there's so much competition for it. They have already built themselves into what it is.
That's right.
I mean, I said it to Ross. I said, no offense, I can't watch another Flair video where all he does is feed the animals at his house. I just think it's ridiculous. However, 300,000 people will watch that every day.
They will.
And he makes a fortune off of it because of it. So good for him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've met two of those guys so far. I've met Justin, and I don't even know the other guy's name. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. If you win a prize and you want to know how to collect your prize, just send me a DM on Instagram at Mr. Bass TV with your address, your name, what you won, and then I will get it to you. How about this fun fact? The first YouTube video is titled "Me at the Zoo."
Rob Turkla, yes.
Rob Turkla, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other one I met. Of the two, I would say Justin's much nicer.
Let's do another Name That Lure. Let's see how many people were paying attention to something you just said. It made me think of this lure. All right, here you go, guys. Here's the next lure. Name that lure.
Oh my God, that looks just like the bait they're made. Can you show me that? Can you show me that tail?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think John Gill got it first. This is the Zoom Ultra Vibe Speed Worm. It has been around for a long, long time. Whenever you hear anybody talk about a speed worm, they're usually talking about this little jiggity thing at the bottom, and everybody copies it now. But to my knowledge, Zoom was the first ones out there.
I still make the best.
Yeah, it's still awesome. It is this worm, boys and girls, if you do not have it, you need to get this worm.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fantastic summertime worm, by the way. Fantastic. Works great on a Texas rig. It also works excellent on a shaky head. If you've never shaky head fished with it, you should try it. John Gill, man. That boy wins every week. Congratulations, John. And he's another one of my Canadian friends. Let's see if he wins. If he's going to win 1, 2, or 3 gift cards, or maybe he'll win the Champions Club box. Two more gift cards for John Gill.
So Jim Collins asked, do I recommend BBM or FTC? I'm FTC, but I think BBM makes a great box. Fishing with Gramps, Turkla had been using a worm from Florida. The worm that he was using in Florida was from Bitters. They've changed the tail, so it's slightly different. You can see that whole lure on a video I just posted tonight.
So they've changed the tail, huh?
It's almost like the tail of the. It looks like the one you had, but it has a ridge on it.
Okay.
So a little bit.
So go to Get Your Fish On's YouTube channel, and you can see it live. You can.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you haven't been to his channel, Steve does a lot of really close-up tackle videos, and he's got excellent equipment, and you can see some really, really good stuff.
I actually took a new turntable, even though it's small, with me to iCAST. so I could do the 360 of the lures right there for the first time. I will say I broke this out at Pure Fishing, and it created a line of media people all wanting to use it for videos. So I was like, I should have been charging them.
Yeah.
I am too nice of a person is the problem.
Yeah, you definitely should have. That would be awesome.
Trying to see all the other crap I got this week.
I signed up for a new tackle subscription box, and I can't remember the name of it. I was going to tell you about it, but someone recommended it. It's supposed to be another one of these custom handmade sort of boxes, but it's not $70 like the Salt Creek. It's, I don't know, 35, like kind of the typical deal. So when it shows up,
I heard of another all custom box like FTC this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually, of all things, I was sitting talking to Vic, and the guy interrupted and said, "Can I send you one?" And he had no idea who Vic was, that Vic was sitting there. And he said, "My box is a lot like FTC." And I just sat there and didn't say a word and just thought, okay, I'm just going to keep quiet. And
Vic
I said,
didn't say anything?
I'll send you. I didn't say anything. We just both kept quiet and looked at each other. And then, and then I told him, I said, well, if you want to send it to me, you can, but I cannot promise I'm going to be nice. So we'll see if he sends it.
Yeah, they might want to go back and look at some of your videos. If you don't like something, you better be confident you're going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Well, you just got to be honest. That's the whole thing. If you're not honest about it, then I said it the last time we had the live show. There's too many times that people get something for free, and then they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever." But is it really? I mean, did you really? Yeah. Did you look at what you got in that box?
Yeah,
because it wasn't great.
It is kind of funny because you do feel a little bit of pressure if you get something free.
Yes.
Like the Ego fishing tackle bags, they sent me. Those things are absolutely awesome, and I was super happy when I got them and realized this is probably the best fishing tackle backpack I've ever used. It's incredible. But then they came out with a line of coolers,
no.
And so I contacted them and I said, "Hey, dude, I want to try one of your coolers, and I'll do a video on it." And they sent me their smallest cooler. And it is so freaking small. It's like a lunchbox. You couldn't. I don't know how you could use the thing. And so I've kind of delayed doing the video on it because I don't know that I can say anything super happy about it.
I have done that too. I have one video that I'm not joking. Let me just open it. I finished the video March 15th, and I haven't uploaded it because, well, first off, I say some kind of sexually oriented things in the middle of it that I think is very funny. But I just think it's just the whole thing is crap. If I had a special place that I could put it that only like us and like the select people that comment on every post, I would do that.
Yeah.
Because then it wouldn't be out for the world. But they sent it to me, and then I'm like, yeah, this is junk. This is really junk.
Yeah.
Of all things, it's the same company who made this.
What do you know?
Well, I think I've told you that. Don't share what I said, but you know the video I'm talking about. Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. Well, I need to do a couple more of these because guys want free stuff. All right, this one's going to be easy. And now that John Gill and John Smith have both won, guys, you got a fair shake. They can't guess. They can't win more than once per night. So this one's.
I don't know if I can make it private. I guess I could, and then can you make? Yeah. Do you know how to make video private on YouTube?
Yeah, you can do private.
Hold on. Can I? Upload
Can
a
you
video.
do? All right, here's the lure.
Oh, I
This
know that
is
one.
yeah, this one. You guys should know this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you a softball. I'm throwing a softball right here. Dad bod got it.
Yep.
Sweet beaver, one of the world's greatest lures.
Mm-hmm.
Reaction Innovations, Sweet Beaver. The 4.2 size is kind of the standard go-to size, although they make a lot of different sizes now. And this color is Okeechobee Craw. You can see it's got a lot of blue on one side, kind of green pumpkin on the other.
How good is Reaction Innovations baits, in all honesty?
They're fantastic. They are.
What is it? The swim bait they make is fantastic.
The Skinny Dipper.
The Skinny Dipper. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can't beat that lure.
It's great. It really is. And then they got the little Skinny Dipper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt Herron is the pro for them. Matt Herron is one of the, if you ever can meet Matt Herron and you can ask him anything in the world, if he's pro, against, versus, it doesn't matter. If he has an opinion, you will hear that exact opinion. He doesn't give a rat's ass, and it's hilarious.
I actually fished with him one time. I didn't
Great
really
dude.
fish. I didn't really fish. I was a marshal, so I rode in the boat and watched him fish all day.
Yeah, one of the best dudes in the world.
He definitely knows how to fish.
Yeah.
All right, Dad bod, let's spin to win for you. Oh, you came so close to the Champions Club box, Dad bod. One click away. Oh, Dave, I love the pocket rockets too. Have you ever fished with the pocket rocket, Steve?
No, I have not.
It is an excellent wacky rig worm. I don't have any sitting in front of me here, but the pocket rocket is a great worm. Mr. Bass, I need to marshal a tournament near me. Yeah, marshalling's fun, Gramps. And it's pretty cheap. I mean, the only thing you gotta, I have some friends who say, "Man, I couldn't stand to be in a boat for 8 hours and not get to fish the whole day."
You
But
can
man,
handle it.
you learn a lot watching those guys fish, man.
Did you see they announced the Elite Series for next year?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, two down here in Florida.
They've got one up in like North Dakota or something crazy. I mean, there's several tournaments kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I mean,
Dad
you mean
bought
Lake
somebody one?
O'Hay in South Dakota? The rest of them we all know. I mean, St. John's they always go to.
Yeah, they always go there.
Harris Chain is
he said hard. Okay.
Yeah. Santee Cooper Lakes, Chickamauga, Lake Fork, St. Lawrence, Lake Oahe, Mississippi River.
All right, Dad bod. The Berkeley
That's a
Cutter.
good one.
The Berkeley Cutter 90 shallow.
That's a good bait.
That's a good looking color too. That is called blueback. Blueback.
What was sold out all around you?
Pocket rockets, I think is what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
I got introduced to the pocket rocket on a guide trip at the California Delta, and the guy was fishing wacky rigged Cincos and pocket rockets, and I fished with the pocket rocket all day. and it's a really good wacky rig worm.
Mm.
So since then, I bought a bunch of them.
Nice. I'm looking at the exhibitor list for. I thought I was trying to see if frog fur was back in the this year's thing, but they didn't. They weren't there.
Oh, they weren't, huh?
Yeah. That's Stanford Baits, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is Stanford Baits. In fact, there's one that came in the Champions Club box this month.
Yeah, I like that one.
This is their white color.
Oh, you got white. I got black.
It's called Diva. It's got this blue on the back of it, and then it's got a little bit of chartreuse on the side, but
yeah,
it's kind of a lot of reflection. What do you think of this square bill? Have you ever fished with this Castaic square bill before?
So they make a different, smaller one that is really, really good in the water. Really good in the water.
Huge.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
It is huge.
I've been working on a closer look of the smaller one. I'll show you. Hold on.
This is 3.5 inches.
Yeah, that's the same one I think I got. Here's the one I have. I'm doing the closer look of. It's a lot smaller, but a lot smaller.
Oh yeah. That's a nice looking color.
Yeah, this is a sweet color. They sent me 2 or 3 of them. They got really good hooks. They have those hooks that go, rounded kind of hooks. This thing dives like 3 feet, and it's got a really nice tight wobble.
Mm-hmm.
The bill is a little bit thick, so that's why it has a little bit tighter wobble. So the thinner the thinner that that lip is, the better the action is. So it still works pretty good. So
okay, I've never thrown a Castaic square bill.
They're just started making them, I think, recently, the last few months.
Dude, I tell you, I see these guys talking about Reaction Innovations colors, Hematoma, Tramp Stamp. I mean, they've got some really creative names, and this man bear pig is basically their version of the brush hog. It's another great bait. If you've never seen the man bear pig, where do you come up with that? Man, bear, and pig. They got nothing. I don't know, but dude, how can you forget man bear pig? It's pretty cool.
Shout out Topwater Johnny.
Topwater Johnny in the house. So
saw him
I guess
3
you
or
guys
4
did,
times.
I guess you guys didn't go fishing then, like you said you might last week.
No, I introduced Topwater Johnny. Got to meet everyone I knew at one day. He was sitting next to me. I'm like, oh, this is this guy. This is this guy. Do just nonstop. He probably was like, oh, I don't want to hang out with Steve anymore. And he came to the whiteout party too.
He did, huh? Sweet.
Yeah. Boy, I wish I could tell a story about the whiteout party. Remind me to tell you next time we talk about the group that came in as we were leaving.
Okay. I will do it.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
All right. I'm going to do this next lure in honor of Get Your Fish On. Here it is. This is the next lure.
I know exactly which one it is.
Here it is. Oh, we got to hold up.
We're all friends. Yep.
All right, Illuminathan. What's it called, though? What's it called?
Which one is it?
Matthew's got it. The RoboWorm Ned Worm. You can't just say RoboWorm. They make 1,000 different products. It's the RoboWorm Ned Worm, and it is a great Ned rig bait. Pretty cool color. This is called Green Pumpkin Perch. One thing I love about RoboWorm is they've got this incredible color, laminate way that they do their colors, and here they've got this really nice color here, and then a little natural tail and chartreuse, and then they really masters at doing this laminate of another color mixed in.
How they shoot that is tough, by the way.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. Great baits. The Ned worm, the Robo Ned.
Somebody asked, we're all friends here, so I will indulge everybody and hope that this doesn't come back and bite me. It can't. I would imagine it can't come back and bite me. So we had a Tackle Webs whiteout party on Wednesday night. It was Tackle Webs had all black bags, and we went to white bags. So we were having a whiteout party at this place called Ice Bar Orlando. So you walk in, and it's a bar. There you go. And then they have a separate area where you walk into this like 22-degree cooler, and everything is made out of ice. So like 15 or 20 minutes, I was leaving early because I was exhausted. As I was leaving, a group of ladies of the night, is that maybe the best way to put it?
That's a good way.
Walked in with one dude that I just happen to know, like 8. Let's just say 8. And I know one dude, and he's like, Steve, and I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, I need a badge. I'm like, oh, and I'm wearing a backpack with badges, by the way. Oh. So every time I see someone that doesn't have one, I give them this badge that says, it looks just like this. It looks just like this. And it says, you know, you're a VIP. Come on in. You can drink. Yeah. You can drink for free, eat, blah, blah, blah. So these, I mean, they're wearing nothing. I mean, it's like just one thing across here. Let's see what he gets first.
Jeez, so close, Matthew. Let us know what you want.
Yeah, so they're wearing this like nothing. It isn't even covering their areolas. I'm being very polite.
Oh,
they
man.
Run into this 22-degree freezing house.
Ice chest, basically.
Yes. They run in, go get a drink, and then come out, and now everything is completely exposed.
Oh my goodness.
Everything is hardened and everything is exposed. I have 2 pictures.
Oh my goodness.
Of my buddies. They're like, you got to take a picture of me. I'm like, I am right there for you, man. So it was hilarious.
Crazy. I mean, that just kind of blows my mind that something like that would be at iCAST. I mean, that sounds like something going on in Vegas, not at a bunch of fishing lure. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the highlight of of course, it got me in a world of trouble, by the way, because then I have every bad joke known to man.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Sonia's like, why? What are you? And of course, the one dude knows me, and then it's all my.
All right,
scandally women in.
Okay, Matthew, we've got a Bait Labs jerk bait, and that's
a good looking bait too.
Yeah, that's a good looking color. This color is called Natural Shiner, and this is called the Dizzy Diver. Okay, and then I kept grabbing this and then putting it back, and then it just kept coming up. So this one's destined for you, buddy. It's the Lunker Hunt Battle Beetle. The Lunker Hunt Battle Beetle.
I kept that PG rated, didn't I?
Yeah, I think it was PG rated for sure.
Areola. I could have said something drastically worse.
Yeah. Why did you upset somebody?
Yeah, who knows? All
right. The Battle Beetle. Actually, you got to keep stuff PG rated now because guys probably don't know this, but YouTube has changed the way you rate your videos, and you have to kind of go in and clarify whether you have anything inappropriate in your videos, and if you don't do it correctly, they're coming after you.
Yeah, they demonetize you very fast.
Yeah, right.
I actually got a notice the other day that I was in copyright infringement.
Really? Doing what? It was probably some music.
It was, but the music I use, I have a service that I use, and I
Well, you can
disputed it.
appeal that then.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I'll look, Simon.
Well, we're getting close. Time's about up. Maybe we got time for one more. Name that lure. So I do one that's hard. Oh, what I normally do at the end is if nobody's landed on the Champions Club, I give them a hard one, and whoever gets it, I'll let them win the Champions Club without spinning. So let's do that to kind of wrap up. This one might be a little hard. Now, you've got to give me the full name of this lure. And I'll just tell you it's 2 words. That way you know. You got to give me both words in order to win, since I'm giving away a top dollar prize, the Champions Club box. Let me show you what's in the Champions Club box before we give it away. You got this thing that gives you some discounts. You got this incredible collector's autographed Art Defoe poster. I mean, some people would kill for this thing. Well, maybe not kill. When it's hey, I hate to tell you, this is not a real autograph. It's a photocopy, but it's the principle of the thing. 2 mop jig minis, the Castaic square bill I was just talking about, the Boom Boom with free frog fur. They throw the frog fur in free. Speak of the devil, Guggen baits. And this is their Rattling Chunk.
Yeah.
And then this, I think, is the best lure in the box this month. It's the Dual Hardcore Crank 4+. Now, this doesn't help Steve because he's a shallow water fisherman, but I'm telling you, if you fish deep water crankbaits, this sucker is awesome. That is a great lure.
Didn't they get a frog fur in it?
Yeah, I got a frog fur. Boom Boom. Boom Boom frog.
What did I get the same thing in mine? Yeah.
All right, so whoever gets this right wins all of that. Here we go. Name that lure.
2.
Give you a little upside down look. This one's harder. This is not something most of you guys fish with.
Fisherman 83?
Nope. It is not the Strike King Pro Tube. Adam, you are close, but no dice. Sean Z, you got it, buddy.
Sean Z. Oh, yeah.
It is called the Fat Ika or Fat Ika, however you want to pronounce it. I think they pronounce it Ika. By Gary Yamamoto. It is not a tube. It is a solid bait. It's solid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it looks like a tube. It's shaped like a tube. The thing that makes this bait pretty awesome is if you rig it upside down and you pitch it like up to a dock,
yeah,
it will swing underneath the dock.
Oh, nice.
It has this effect. If you rig it upside down, when you pitch it anywhere, it'll go in and under where you want it to go. All right. Adam says he was first. Okay, Adam, you did say Gary Yamamoto Fat Skirted Grub, but that's not what it's called, buddy. It's called the Fat Ika. As I said before, you got to have it right, exact. 2 words, Fat Ika. That's why I was saying, you're close. But That's probably a good description of what it is. It is a fat skirted grub, but that's not what they call it. They call it the fat fat Ica.
Have you seen this one?
No.
That's
Is that the Z-Man frog?
No, this is the Snag Proof Pro Series Fat Frog. This
Oh,
thing
really?
is like super collapsible.
Wow, nice.
It's wonderful. So I haven't caught anything on it yet.
Very nice. Adam, I do see where you said fat Ica or fat Ica, but you were actually 2 seconds behind Sean Z, buddy. Sorry. Well, 2/100ths of a second. My counter gives me down to the hundredths of a second, and Sean beat you by 20. What's 54 minus 42? 54 minus 42. 12/100ths of a second, man. That's like the Olympics. Dude, thanks for playing though. Adam's had a lot of great comments on the show tonight. So Sean Z by 12/100ths of a second, you have won the Champions Club box. If you were a winner tonight, send me a message on Instagram. Send me a DM with your name, address, and what you won, and I will get it to you in the mail. If for some reason you don't have Instagram, what's wrong with you? No. If you do not have Instagram, here is, well, that's my address. That's probably not going to help. Here's my email address. You can send an email to mrbasstv@protonmail.com, and I will give me your name and address and what you want, and I will ship it to you. Thanks for hopping on, Steve. This is not Steve's regular night, and I really appreciate it a whole lot. Yeah, Adam, a lot of guys every once in a while will say, my screen was first. You just got to, I have to use my screen, man. I got to use mine, and I got it legitimately like that. Hope you guys have a great night. As Steve would say, get your fish on. And join us Wednesday night. Steve and I will be back on Wednesday night for our iCAST follow-up show. And Gary's right, man. Head over to Steve's channel. He's going to have a lot of iCAST videos on this week. It'll be fun to watch. And Sean Z, thanks, buddy. He's pitching in some money for the shipping. Appreciate it. That is awesome. All right. We are going to call it a night. Have a great night, guys, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks again, Sean. And we are ending in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.